Thank you, Justin. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us to have a special announcement today. But before I get to the announcement, I do want to acknowledge a couple of speakers here with me. First is Ricardo Morales, if I pronounce that correctly, who is representing Calgary Catholic Immigration Society. Thank you, Rick, for joining us. You'll share some words in the unique program. I can't wait to hear. The next one is Sarah Taylor, our program manager with Autism Alberta. Sarah, thank you so much for the great work Autism Alberta is doing. Thank you for joining us to share this moment, to share some great news for our Albertans that you've been working with. Next is Kevin McNichol, CEO of Prospect Human Services Society, one of the biggest stakeholder in the employment support service for people with disability. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today here. As well, we have a great Alberta employer, Executive Patrick here. Thank you, Patrick, for the work you're doing and also sharing some great successful stories here. I will also want to acknowledge, at the end of the day, it is people with disability who benefit from the work we do. And here we have a real testimony from James, who's been through the experience, and you share your firsthand knowledge there too. Before I finish acknowledgement, I do also want to acknowledge Josephine, representing the Vice Chair of CCIS, Board of Directors. Thank you, Josephine, for your board leadership, and thank you also for allowing us to make this fantastic announcement today, which I will say in a few words. In your presence in CCIS, the branch office in the I will say this as a local MLA here, I will have shameless claim this is the best constituency in the whole province, and your branch office in this community is so welcome. So thank you.
Thank you.
As we continue to recover from pandemic, from the economic downturn Alberta has been experienced over 5-7 years, we can't wait to get to a time that we have news that investment is coming to our province. We have news that Alberta is leading the country in job creation. But at the same time, when general public is benefiting from this upcoming opportunities for employment, getting jobs, let me tell you this, as the Minister of Community Social Services, we're the ministry on behalf of government, provide social safety net for vulnerable Albertans. I strongly advocate that while this opportunity existed for general public, we want to make sure vulnerable Albertans benefit equally for this golden opportunity. It is because of that reason our government committed for employment support services for people with disability. Today, I am announcing another $12 million to support people with disability to finding jobs. So thank you guys for the great work you've been doing. This investment is significant to help connect Albertans to work and get training and support employers in recruiting persons with disabilities. And when we make the announcement today, it is also equally important to acknowledge October is the Disability Employment Awareness Month. So we intentionally keep this good news today to share to support the ongoing work of Disability Employment Initiative, which happens every year. As the Minister of Community Social Services, I believe everyone, regardless of their barriers they face, should have the opportunity to build their skills and become active and contributing members in their community. Investment like this help us reach this goal by providing employment support services across Alberta to people who need it, whether to help them with job search or help them getting a job or helping them maintaining a job. Those worthwhile fundings will help programs and agencies to support our vulnerable population here to get what they needed. I want to pause for a second. Since I took the role as the Minister of Community Social Services, we made intentional effort, prioritize that not only we fulfill our mandate as a social safety net for our province, but also we become the empowerment mechanism. We help people in vulnerability to reach their full potential. What you see, the announcement today, the 12 million addition for employment support services for people with disability is another statement of that. I want to take this chance to give credit to my counterpart, my Deputy Minister, Cynthia Farmer, through her to the executive team of the ministry and all the management and frontline workers. Thank you for their hard work, tireless work. When we identified employment for people with vulnerability is a priority, and giving them a chance, what we call enabling them to reach their full potential, provide service not only guaranteed the basic benefits, but most importantly, give them the ability so they can be the best as they can. So we call that hand-up capacity building. I want to thank my ministry for the hard work they've been doing. There are days I'm driving them nuts for making all the changes, but I think they will join me to see the outcomes today as our speakers, one after another, to share the impact of such work, how through that we're changing how we're doing business. We're making sure that vulnerable Albertans get the chance they needed and they can succeed to the best of their potential. So without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to Rick. Rick will outline this unique partnership between CCIS and some of other community partners. Let me give you a little hint. What they caught my eye is, in the face of pandemic, in the face of social isolation, in the face of, I am fully aware when I'm traveling around the province and then when my constituency keep telling me that people with disability had extra layers of barriers to overcome. You can imagine the pandemic put their mental health into another challenging factor. So when we first talk about how can we get people to work, their feedback to me right away saying, Minister, be real. How are you going to entangle some of the hardest part so they are ready to get jobs? When I saw the proposal from CCIS that they're going to not only provide the standard traditional job skills, job training part, but they also partnered with health and mental health agencies to provide self-help, group help, community support, peer support. I believe using mindfulness as a technique to do that. I certainly felt like the light goes off. So without further taking all your thunder away, Rick, here the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Minister, and good afternoon. Well, you know, you provided the spark for the thunder for us to do what we're doing. And we are ever so grateful to have that sort of support coming through. So good afternoon, all our partners, honored guests, and Mr. Luan. On behalf of CCIS, on behalf of our current CEO, Faribaus Bajanian, I know he would love to be here, but he's in Ottawa again, doing more business to make sure that we keep providing the supports that we do. On behalf of the current director of the BETS program, Gordana Raddan, and she's also our incoming CEO, I would like to welcome you all and express our deepest thanks for the support in enabling us to continue our innovative programming to support newcomers in Alberta. For 40 years, CCIS have worked diligently in implementing diverse client-centered approaches to reducing barriers and creating opportunities for newcomers to settle and integrate within our community. Undoubtedly, support for a program like this is going to see us again take a leading edge in this community, along with the supports that we get from a minister. I was just impressed with your authenticity and the genuine commitment you had for supporting vulnerable sectors within our community. As we know, newcomers face multiple complex barriers on their pathways to employment. And they are at a critical disadvantage when it comes to competing in the job market. I had the opportunity to listen to a few folks who know in depth what this means, and they have a lived experience, and I will be hearing from them soon. These issues are compounded for newcomers with physical or mental, what I call distinguishabilities. And I think that it's time that as a sector and as a community, we pay a critical attention to this part of our population. In partnership with the Alberta Mindfulness Association, the Mindfulness-Based Employment Support Project addresses a gap in services by providing customized training and support for newcomers who are facing these challenges. And when I had a chance, this program is not based in my division, but I did have an opportunity to review that proposal. When I look at the customized, very particular working elements of the proposal, I know that we will be certainly meeting a need, and we'll be certainly providing the type of assistance that vulnerable folks would benefit from. This program is truly innovative in its holistic approach to employment and its use of mindfulness-based cognitive training to help participants build their resilience and prepare for workplace success. CCIS is grateful to Community and Social Services for supporting us in our delivery of this particular program. We look forward to the collaboration. We look forward to working together with service providers. We cannot do this alone. From the words of my current CEO, he has always said that this work that we don't do this alone. It does take the support at different levels of government, municipal, provincial, and federal government. This particular support is an example of our provincial government putting the dollars where they believe it could benefit Albertans. Thank you kindly on behalf of CCIS.
Thank you, Ricardo. I'll now ask Sarah from Autism Calgary to come on up and say a few words. Sarah?
Good afternoon, everybody. I am so excited to have the opportunity just to say thank you to our government for the supports that it's provided to Autism Calgary and Autism Alberta and the work that we're doing for individuals on the autism spectrum regarding employment. Our initiative is one that was really birthed out of a gap in services that was happening. And what we saw was that there was fantastic services in place in Calgary and in Alberta for individuals with disabilities who had intellectual disabilities. But one of the gaps that presented itself was in people who were highly educated and very bright, but still had a disability. One of the things that maybe a lot of people don't know about autism is about 50% of people on the autism spectrum have intellectual disabilities, and about 50% of people on the autism spectrum don't have disabilities. What that was creating was challenges with getting employment because social skills and the nuances of social skills are so important for getting employment. In 2013, just 1 year before our initiative started, the stats said that about 85% of people on the autism spectrum were unemployed or underemployed. Often the people that we serve, 85%. So I want you to think about that number, because actually in the disability world, about 49% of people with disabilities are employed. But there was this huge gap for people with autism because of the importance of social skills in the workplace. The funding that we've received from the government has allowed us to develop an initiative that helps to develop the nuances of those social skills that really helps people with autism get in a position where they can get employed. And one of the things that we do, we uniquely offer supports to businesses. For once people are employed, we continue to provide coaching and support so that they can stay employed. The thing about social nuances is they don't go away over time. You're not going to learn enough about social skills so that you never need help. You may at any point in the future need help. So the government has uniquely positioned us in a place where we can continue to provide supports for people on the autism spectrum so that they can get employed at their professional level and can stay employed for long periods of time. So it's just really important work. I'm very excited to be a part of this initiative and to partner with what's happening in the government and the ways in which we can serve communities. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I'll now ask Patrick from Executive MAT, one of our fabulous employers for people with disabilities, to come up and say a few words. Patrick?
Thank you, Sarah. My name is Patrick with Executive MAT Service. So Executive MAT came to know of the Spectrum Advantage in 2019. Right away, we recognized it as an initiative that would both allow us to recruit employees and provide valuable work experiences to people who might otherwise have those opportunities. Over the past 3 years, we've had 15 students come through the program, and out of those 15, we've had 3 that are now full-time with us. We are proud to be in a partnership with the program, especially with the coaching and support from the Spectrum Advantage team that has helped us along the way. We also look forward to continuing our relationship with Spectrum Advantage for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. I'll now ask James to come up and say a few words. James?
Hello, I'm James. I'm on the spectrum. I came to partner with Sarah at Autism Alberta. I got laid off just before COVID, and I spent 15 months looking for work. I'm university educated, held a job for many years. I kept coming back from after interview, just wondering why I wasn't finding employment. So the partnership with Sarah, I have now found full-time employment through the coaching and program that was offered through Autism Alberta, and thanks to the Government Alberta for sponsoring that. I'm now fully time employed, and my partnership with Autism Calgary and Autism Alberta is taking it a step further, where I've got my own life coach certification. Sarah and I are working on another initiative to present to employers, showing firsthand what the program can do, and it's my way of giving back to Autism Calgary, helping other those that are, I like to call them differently abled and neurodistinct rather than disabled or neurodiverse, because it's all about collaboration and partnership. This is a great first step among many other steps. I know the minister has explained there's more initiatives in the work, and thank you for this one and the further ones. But if we all work together, I think we can improve employment for everyone here in Alberta. So thanks again to Sarah personally, Minister, and CCIS for their work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. I'll now call up the CEO of Prospect Employment. We have Kevin McNichol. Kevin?
So thank you very much for this opportunity. I really don't know what else to say. I think that what's been said in terms of James and Patrick, the amazing initiatives that are happening in this province to address. I'm now mixing up all my I'm trying to move to a more progressive set of descriptors, but persons with barriers we like to talk about at Prospect, and we don't really care what the barriers are. We know that if you're coming to us, you're wanting to get a job, and our job at Prospect is to figure out how do we overcome those barriers and match you with an employer who is prepared, ready, willing, and able themselves to integrate you into their workforce and deploy you. Thanks to the province, our focus is all about jobs. We helped about 20,000 Albertans last year, about half of which would identify with some type of barrier, whether it be a disability, neurodiversity, mental health, or addictions, or usually a combination of all of those things. We don't care. we have a program that likely can help get a person ready, prepare them for them, and help them with their job search and land in jobs. Last quarter, we placed 102 persons who we identified with barriers at work, 400 Albertans in total into jobs. And so it's possible, and thanks to the partnership and the collaborations that go on with government and with our community partners, differences are happening and lives are being changed, and people are being able to participate meaningfully within community through employment. So, and I think that's what all of this fundamentally is about, is that opportunity to realize their full potential, as the minister talked about, and be a participant and a collaborator and a community builder in each of our own ways. So this is an amazing opportunity. I really appreciate the support that we've received over the years. I'm inspired by the stories that we've heard here, and executive support. I'm going to put some of our staff in touch, because I think we might have some people who would be very interested. But thank you very much. This is amazing announcements today.
Thank you so much, Kevin. We'll now move into our Q&A portion. As we have no questions on the phone, we're going to take questions in person. There's a mic just up there for individuals. And Noah, do you want to lead us off?
Yeah, is this working? Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, I just had to make sure my mic was recording there. My question is for Sarah of Autism Calgary. By the way, Noah Adler of State Radio Television Broadcast Network. My question for you is, how will this program and project affect people in the autism community on a positive light?
Great question. So I talked a little bit about sort of who we were designed to support. We help young autistic professionals find professional level jobs, so jobs that they're suited and qualified for. Up until this point, we've helped place over 200 people in jobs that are a match for their skills and their qualifications. But I think one of the ways that we best support those individuals on the spectrum is by the education we provide to employers and the support we provide there. So Patrick from Executive Matt can testify to the fact that we don't want to just place people in a job and then say goodbye. We want to help a company and its culture develop so that they are supporting people where they are. So we're very proud of the work we've done. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Sarah.
And Noah, do you have a follow-up?
Nope, no follow-up here. Got what I need.
Perfect. Do we have any more questions? No questions? Just really quick for, I know the assignment editors will appreciate it. Patrick and James, can you come up to the, just say and spell your first and last name, just for everybody.
Hi, Patrick, Patrick, last name Caron, Caron.
Thanks, Patrick. And James?
James, James, last name Townend, Townend.
All right, and that concludes our press conference. Just if everybody can come up and we'll do a group picture with all our speakers, that'd be great. Thanks, everyone.